Hello, this is CO4E Systems here, and this is the Featherweight Robot Test Box build, Episode 1. The main goal of this test box is primarily safety, and it's basically so I can test the robot safely without having to risk any damage to the surroundings. So this episode will focus on the design and the early build. Quite a lot of people have made a beta weight test box, but there's not many examples of a featherweight test box, so this is quite an interesting side project for me, really. And the handy thing is it won't just be able to test the featherweight, I'll be able to test the beta weight in this box as well. So without further ado, let's get into the early planning and build stages. The first items I'd like to talk about with that test box is the basic requirements that I've set for myself. Now the first item here is quite obvious. The test box has got to be large enough to fit robots in with space to spare. That's within reason. Of course, some featherweight robots have crazy dimensions, but most of these should be able to fit in this box. The second requirement here is the most important one, and that is safety. This box has to withstand a full impact from a featherweight spinner in case for whatever reason it goes out of control or it turns into the wall or whatever. And under no circumstances should the robot be able to breach this test box. The third requirement is a nice to have. I want this box to be easy to assemble and transport. So if for whatever reason I want to take it to an event or something, or take it to a friend or any reason like that, it would be nice to be able to disassemble it and then transport it and then reassemble it on a different site. And finally, the fourth main requirement here is the test box to have a hinged lid so it's possible to load robots in and out of the box. It's kind of pointless having a box that you can't actually put the robots into, so that's a pretty important one. So moving on to the basic design phase. This picture is a simplified version of all my sketches by pen on paper together in one picture. The main structure of the box is going to be made out of polycarbonate 1 meter by 1 meter panels, which is pretty standard for featherweight arenas, and this can even scale up to heavyweights. I've chosen metal angles here to hold this polycarbonate structure together, and lots of M8 screws. For further reinforcement, it'd be nice to add HDPE to the base, and there's the option to add HDPE inner walls, so they're basically sacrificial. These will be to stop the spinner or the robot hitting the screws directly in the box, and every now and then they can be replaced as they get damaged. So that's the basics of the design. Here are some of the parts that have arrived so far. This is the first bulk buy of the screws, nuts and washers. There'll be many more to come after this. This is barely scratching the surface. And then not long after this, all the polycarbonate panels arrived. That's 10 in total for this box, as it's 2 meters by 1 meter, made up of 1 meter square panels. And Gunblade 2 is the robot this box is primarily designed for. So that about wraps it up for this episode, and there'll be more test box videos to come. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.